on a quiet November day. Tiny hands, a brand new smile, a mother's love, a father's pride, rocked to sleep in gentle arms, safe and sound away from harm.
Steve was born on November 27, 1949 in California, at Travis Air Force Base to Charles and Geneva Gates. The youngest of 3 boys, Steve came into a family that moved often. His father served in the Air Force as a radar technician. Each of the Gates children was born in a different state. In 1950, his sister Karen joined the family, and after a tour in Japan, they settled in New Mexico, where little Brenda was born.
In the shade of the desert sky, where the mountains touch the blue, a young boy ran through the fields with dreams as wide as the view.
Steve grew up in Las Cruces, where he went to MacArthur Elementary, Court Junior High, and graduated from Mayfield High in 1967. It was during those years that he met Frances Stelzner. The two married in 1968 and started a family with their children, Stephen Jr. and Kimberly. Steve proudly served in the U.S. Army for 12 years. He started in Air Defense Artillery and worked his way up through Officer Candidate School to become a captain in the Medical Service Corps. His dedication to duty was matched only by his love for family. After his service, Steve earned his master's in business from NMSU and began work in Roswell, New Mexico. After 20 years of marriage, he and Frances went their separate ways, and in 1989, Steve found love again. He married Janice Landon, a pharmacist, and together they had 2 beautiful daughters, Savannah and Chloe. Steve and Janice Gates ran a lively home farm just outside Amarillo, Texas. They began raising ostriches, primarily for their eggs and meat, but their farm quickly grew into a small menagerie. Alongside the ostriches, they kept chickens, turkeys, ducks, cats, dogs, and horses. The ostrich eggs were impressive, each one slightly larger than a softball, with thick, sturdy shells. Steve would carefully extract the contents and have a local artist hand-paint decorative scenes on the empty shells. These beautifully crafted eggs, along with the fresh ostrich meat, became popular items they would sell. During our stay on the farm, Janice would treat us to breakfast made with eggs from their chickens. The eggs had vibrant orange yolks and a rich, fresh flavor you could only get straight from the farm. Steve loved target shooting. During the holidays in Las Cruces, he'd head out with his 2 daughters, Savannah and Chloe, and the Nemesh family, John Jr., Scott, Mark, Luke, and Andrew, for some good old-fashioned fun. Christmas was always special. First at his parents' home, with big feasts prepared by Geneva, and later at Karen and John's. Turkey with all the trimmings, pies, pastries, laughter, love. Steve watched his daughters grow into strong, passionate women. Savannah, a musician, and Chloe, an equine veterinarian. When they moved to Weatherford, Steve and Janice followed. In 2024, they shared a beautiful trip to Italy, a highlight of his final year.
Figlimi a cutterare, mamma mia, pensaccia tu. Sitte non ne pisciao, ide va, ide bene sempre baccalare del mano bene. Se ci picchia quando si è baccalare, picchia me. Oh mamma, la 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 la. Oh mamma, la 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 la. Mama dear, come over here and see who's looking in my window. It's the baker boy, and look, he's got a cannoli in his hand. If you marry the baker boy, he will come and he will go, and he will always mix the
Steve was welcomed into heaven by his beloved father, Charles E. Gates, Jr., his dear mother, Geneva B. Tribble Gates, and his son, Steven B. Gates, Jr., who went before him. He leaves behind a family who loved him deeply. His devoted wife, Janice Landon Gates of Weatherford, Texas. His daughters, Kimberly Gates of Roswell, New Mexico, and Savannah and Chloe Gates of Weatherford, Texas. He is also lovingly remembered by his siblings, Charles E. Gates III and his wife, Letitia of Santa Teresa, New Mexico. George H. Gates of Fair Acres, New Mexico, and Karen Gates, Nemish and her husband John of Las Cruces, and Brenda C. Gates, Nall and her husband Larry of San Angelo, Texas, along with many nieces, nephews, and great-nieces and nephews, all of whom held a special place in his heart. Steve touched so many lives with his kindness, gentle spirit, and that unmistakable dry sense of humor. His love and laughter will echo in our hearts forever. He will be truly missed.